I wish I understood this when I first started boxing. It's funny, as a casual viewer, when you view boxing, you may be so focused on the hands because it's so visually appealing. But the most important thing when it comes into your boxing technique, especially as a beginner, are your feet. Today, I'm going to teach you boxing footwork that all beginners should know from the get-go. 6 different ways to move your feet. Let's get right into this.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the...
So before we even get started on introducing the move, you need to understand a couple general rules when it comes into your footwork. All right, I like to break it down into 2 rules right here. First rule when it comes into your footwork: any direction you move, that foot will always lead first. For example, if you need to step forward at somebody, front foot simply moves first. If you need to go back, somebody's coming at you and you need to take a step back, your back foot will go first. If you need to cut somebody off, and you need to move to the left, left foot will lead. If you need to move to the right, right foot will lead first. All right, that's your first general rule when it comes into your footwork. Any direction you need to go, that foot will always lead you. Front foot first when you go forward, back foot first when you go back, left foot first when you go left, right foot first when you go right. Second general rule when it comes into footwork: whichever foot moves first, the second foot needs to follow the same amount. That way you are always in your traditional boxing stance when you end your footwork, or when you end whichever move you're accomplishing. For example, if this front foot moves forward 3 inches, this back foot will follow another 3 inches, right? Again, different angle. If this front foot moves forward 3 inches, this back foot will follow another 3 inches. Even by the inch or 2, it may throw your boxing stance off, it may throw your balance off. So check this out. If I were to step forward 3 inches, this back foot follows 5 inches, what happens? My feet come together a little too much. It breaks my boxing stance. In turn, my balance is thrown off and I'm not able to defend or throw a punch because I'm not in my proper stance. All right, so 6 different ways to move your feet. Let's cover the first one. We just kind of foreshadowed it right here. Boxing stance with me. We're going to step forward. Envision your opponent is moving away. You need to get closer to them. Your front foot will move first. Your back foot will follow. All right. Nice and steady. If this is your first time ever learning boxing footwork, I always encourage everyone, perfect the movements slow and controlled before you try to accomplish them quickly. So try slowly with me. We're going to take a step forward, front foot first, back foot follows. If someone were coming at us and we needed to create a little distance and move back, which foot will lead? I'll give you a second. The back foot. So if I need to go back foot first, front foot follows. So there's 2 different ways on moving your feet right there. It's so simple. You could take a step forward, or you could take a step back. You could take a step forward, or you could take a step back. Let's work on moving laterally now, all right? It's actually a little tricky right here. Very, very easy to cross your feet up. Let's break it down, all right? If I need to step to the left, my opponent is moving along the ring right here. I need to cut them off, or I simply need to step to the left of my bag or to my coach. My left foot will lead, all right? Left foot leads, the other foot follows. If I need to move to the right, right foot leads, the other foot follows. Again, if you need to go left, left foot. If you need to go right, right foot. Right here, the most common mistake that I tend to see is we tend to step too big. We tend to step to the left, and then the other foot will follow a little too much. And what happens when you do that? Your stance breaks. Or another common mistake I tend to see, especially moving laterally, we tend to move with the wrong leg. And for beginner boxers, you need to understand the basic way, not the advanced way. It's because there are advanced techniques where you do cross up your feet, but not today. If I'm moving right, most common mistake I tend to see is the left foot leads and the right foot follows. So what happens there? You cross up your boxing stance. You want to keep it simple. If you need to move left, left foot first. If you need to move right, right foot first. The smallest movements make the biggest difference. So get comfortable moving in these small vicinity, all right? Small movements first before you try to go big and fast with it. Quick recap. 4 different forms of footwork that we covered so far. You could step forward, you could step back, you can step to your left, or you can step to your right. Final 2, a little tricky, but for my beginners, very accomplishable still. So let's work on pivoting. All right, knees are bent. If I need to turn and create an angle or get out of the way of a punch versus stepping, you can also learn to pivot. All right, so when you pivot, we're gonna swing our back leg about 45 degrees right here. All right, we're gonna swing our back leg. My math is all off. 90 degrees. All right, I didn't thrive so much when it came into geometry. All right, let's swing 90 degrees right here with this back leg. We're gonna swing. So, boxing stance. If you are right-handed, let's focus on my right-handers first. If your opponent moves over to your right side, you're gonna be able to swing your back leg, your right leg, right here, 90 degrees to where they're facing right here. So teaching you the pivot again, swinging this back leg so we're facing to the right side. So boxing stance, your right side, swinging this back leg 90 degrees. So what happens when you swing the back leg? The front leg needs to adjust with it right after. One more time, you swing this back leg, front leg adjusts right after to where your opponent is on the right side. If I'm left-handed, let me demonstrate this for my lefties right quick. If your opponent moves to your left side and you need to turn and face them, this back leg, your left leg, will pivot 90 degrees and your front will adjust with it as if the opponent was on your left side. Simply pivoting back to position will be your 6th and final movement, all right? Again, number 5, you're gonna pivot this back leg 90 degrees and pivot back to position. There is number 6. Quick recap on your footwork right here. Boxing stance for me, try this with me. You could step forward, you can step back, you can step left, you can step right, you can pivot 90 one way, you can pivot 90 the other way. Again, from a different angle. You can step forward, you can step back, you can step to your left, you can step to your right, you can pivot that back leg 90, and you can pivot back into position. All right, quick little recap on your rules of footwork. If one foot moves, the other foot follows the same amount, and whichever direction you are going, that foot will always lead you when it comes into your steps. Here's one little bonus tip for you at the end. The super key component when it comes to moving your feet, especially quickly, is you want to stay on that back toe, heel lifted off of the ground right here. Being a little flat-footed, it's tough to move last minute, especially if you're boxing. You need that quick reflex to move. If your back foot is flat, you're going to feel stuck. Stay light on that back heel, all right? It'll make it a little easier to move forward, back, left, right, and pivot, all right? On that note, you have 6 different ways to move your feet. I think the best way to practice this is to 3 minutes on the clock, just like a traditional boxing round, and to practice these movements over and over and over, but not monotonously where you're just doing it over and over like a robot. Treat each move separately as it is. Get comfortable moving forward, then set your feet. Then comfortable moving back at a little faster pace, and moving left separately before you move right. Pivoting and then pivoting. All right, I hope you enjoy the beginner boxing video. If you like this kind of content, please take the time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notifications. My name is Jeremiah. I really hope you enjoy the content on here, and I hope to connect with y'all soon. Peace.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the